Alright guys, welcome back to another rage quitting video. In this one, we are going to go through a hypergate that we played. Let me fast forward here for a second and then show you what the situation is, and then we'll go back and watch some gameplay and talk about it. But if you see the score here, they are the purple team, so they are way up on the score and we are way behind, but we ended up winning this match, so I thought it'd be a good one to talk about. At the start of the match here, we are playing Carnage Marauder, so this is from Carnage Marauder point of view. If you guys really like this style of video where I go through and talk about the gameplay and actual like thought process and stuff like that, I will continue to keep making them. I enjoy recording these ones because as I look through the gameplay, I can find mistakes that I made and things that I could have done better, at the same time helping you guys to understand what's going on in the mindset of these matches. But anyway, so at the start of the match here, I'm using my out-of-combat heal to get my 30 stacks of Fury. Every single Marauder spec and Sentinel spec can do this, so definitely want to get your 30 stacks of Fury up before entering combat, before the gates open. It takes 10 seconds to do it, so you can do it, closer to the timer when the gates open. But as soon as the gates open here, I hit Predation to get my team to where they're going faster. And since I'm ahead of the pack here, I'm going to try and pick up the damage buff. So whether I decide to defend the node from incoming enemies or go to mid, I will, for the most part, try to pick up the damage buff because it's just free damage, why not? So we jump on this guy, but as soon as I notice he gets pulled. So he gets pulled away from me by my friendly PT. I kind of hate when they do that, but I'm running Interloper, so I have 2 leaps, so I just use my second leap to get on him. And he immediately threw up his Reflect shield when I leapt onto him because he was being focused by a lot of people. So as soon as I leapt on him, he put his defensives on, and then I just switched off of him to go to the other guy instead. So anyway, getting here in the mid, we're trying to assess what type of team they have, So I'm looking around. I know what classes they are by looking around. When I jumped on that Commando, he threw up his shield, so I switched off of him. He still has his shield up on the side of the screen over there, if you can see him. So now we're going for the Sin. He uses his Deflection and his Vanish at the same time, so he's gone. And this guy's the healer. Somebody else noticed that it's the healer, and they have him marked, so I am focusing the marked healer at the moment. He had this mark prior to, here when I decided to focus him solo, but there should definitely be more people on him right now. I get pulled by the Sin tank, so I use my camouflage to get away from the Sin tank and get right back onto the healer to help secure the kill here. And this is the other healer, so they have 2 commando healers on their team. So pretty much, for the most part, for the duration of this match, I'm mainly trying to focus them and then hitting anybody else if I can't target the healers for the most part. So healer still has a shield up, so I don't hit him. I hit the Sork instead. And now I switch to the other Merc because that Sin up there, I think, is the tank Sin. Yeah, he is the tank Sin. You can tell he's got like a little his relics proccing for the. Also, you can tell. If I unpause it here for a second, try to get a clear picture. So you see these floating rock, asteroid belt type looking stuff around his body. That's how you can tell they're a tank. So I'm not going to be targeting him for the duration of this match because there's kind of no point. So just going to attack the DPS and the healers instead. So here I switched to him, not realizing what he was, but as soon as I did, I switched to something else, and this guy decided to try to run away from the fight and take it into the mid, but he kind of just singled himself out here, making him an easy target. So me and somebody else jumped on it. So as soon as I jump on this healer, he throws up his shield, so I switch off of him to deal damage to other people instead. And then he gets pushed outside and he's about to die to the thing, so I tried to back away as to not give him a target to leap on, but he leapt on me anyway and got right back inside. So here I know I'm pretty low, but he's really low too. So I'm not going to use my med pack or my camouflage just because I don't think I need to. I just need to quickly kill them so that I can exit combat and heal back to full. And then for most of the war zones that I play in, I do try to win, of course, but I don't go out of my way to like run orbs or cap a node or something like that, or guard it. So dealing damage can help win war zones too, so that's what I'm mostly going to focus on, you know. Dealing damage in the right places, let me rephrase that, right? So here I got rooted and I was responding to somebody who whispered me. So I kind of lost track of what was going on. So I ended up just using camouflage to get away and like kind of reassess what the situation here. And then, okay, so let's back up for a second because I need to make note of this. So as I'm standing here and, you know, our guy is very low. They have guys that are healthy. And so from this point here, after I respond to this whisper and I camouflage, I decide to go back inside because I know that I'm outnumbered here. So I'm not going to stay in an outnumbered place for them to kill me for free. So I retreat to the safety of my team. If you look across the way here, so I'm using the 10-second backtrack here because I don't want to scroll on the thing and lose track of the video. So right here, I look outside and you can see that we have, you know, 4 people coming to mid. So for now, since I'm outnumbered, you can look on the mini map as well. Like the mini map has 5 red dots right there, red enemy dots, and I only have 1 friendly player with me on this side of the map. So I retreat closer to the safety of my team, and as my team is starting to pour into mid, now I can get aggressive again and make my way back to the fight outside. So picking off one at a time, going back into the fights. I jump back on the healer. There's his reflect shield, so I switch off of him and just get on the next closest thing. This Sork needs a little bit more practice with his like positioning and stuff like that, because I don't think he should be standing like right there in the middle of the rest of my team. He should be out here somewhere, you know, dealing damage from range. But anyway, I get back on the back line here. The 2 healers are back here, so I need to harass them. So here I ended up just camouflaging and beelining it towards their node because ours just got capped. So as soon as that happened, I camouflage, go to theirs, hoping that maybe they left it unguarded, but they didn't. There's a stealther here and I get sapped. And the healer is aware of it, so he's here now too. So in 20 seconds time, there's no way that I could, you know, 2v1 a healer and a stealther and try to cap the node. So I ended up just, you know, giving it up and just dealing some damage before I have to escape back into the mid. And so here I got stunned. So I just immediately cleansed it and used camouflage to get back into mid. But I probably should have made my way into mid a little bit sooner because now I'm like dangerously low. So I use if you back up a little bit here, like I said, I should have left sooner so that I wasn't this low. But now when I run into mid, since I'm low, I'm using this middle cube here as a line of sight from their, you know, enemy players. So if they want to come and get me, they have to, you know, go around the line of sight, you know, just because I'm low. So I'm kind of just trying to use the line of sight to my advantage. So here, as I get much lower, my predation just came off cooldown. So I use my predation in order to reset my camouflage and then use my camouflage because that vengeance jug was going to kill me for sure. And then since, you know, out of sight, out of mind, I guess, he just switched off and now he's doing his own thing somewhere else. He didn't come looking for me when I showed up again, so I'm safe now. And even though I'm low here, I'm not really worried about dying because this is just the enemy healer on the enemy team right here. So it doesn't matter if I'm low because I'm not going to die to a healer. But right here, when the jug respawns, as soon as, you know, like I said, 5 seconds ago I was safe because there's no way a healer is going to solo me even at this health. As soon as the jug shows up in my screen, I need to take a look down at my cooldowns and see, okay, well, if he jumps on me, what am I going to do right now? So the only thing I have available is my camouflage. So it's just good knowing what you can do in case something happens. So here is when I made a mistake. So the jug hit me once, and I got scared that he was going to kill me. So I decided to camouflage, but at the same time, I saw that this healer was so low that I wanted to try and get the kill before I died. But here, I could have totally not died at all. I could have left and went back into the mid to drop combat, heal back to full, whatever. But I decided to get a little greedy here and try and get this kill. So I died for it. But we ended up going 1 for 1 because the friendly sniper got the kill anyway. So, you take your trades where you can get them, but in hindsight, I think I could have made a better decision there. So I jumped down underneath and picked up the speed buff, which my friend Billy does all the time. I don't really do this all the time. I just kind of go to wherever I want to go, but you can drop down underneath the spawn and pick up the speed buff to kind of get to where you're going a little faster. So here I picked up the damage buff, and now I get right back onto the healer. He puts up his reflect shield, so I immediately switch off of it and don't, use my big cooldowns into it, and just use, continue the rotation on somebody else instead. So we get that kill. And that's a big part of optimizing your DPS, is to use your abilities on targets that don't have defensive cooldowns running. If you have the option to switch to something else, you should always do that. So I threw a nade at this guy just to kind of stop him from doing an ability on one of our guys that was capping, but there ended up being another stealther there that was low, so he stopped the cap. And then there I tried to cap, but hoping that the Sork wouldn't be able to stop me just because there's a lot of people on him. But so as soon as he hits me, I just stop trying to cap it and just help secure the kill as fast as possible and try to kill all these other incoming players as fast as possible. But we weren't able to do it, so we had to forfeit this round. So we are really behind in terms of score, and I think it only gets worse for like one more round before we make a comeback here. But because our team does feel stronger than theirs, like they're definitely dying more than we are. So by the time we finally do catch up and capture a node, we ended up getting a lot more points because of it, and we stopped them from capping theirs too. So that's pretty huge. But the good thing here is that what was really good about this match is that even though we were coming from behind the whole time, the team was always in it to win it. There was no shit talking. There was no, bitching about anything, basically. Oh, here, let me back up for a second. So here we're running over to try and contest, right? So I stick onto this Merc here, and right here, he throws up his Reflect Shield, immediately stop attacking him, and switch onto a different target. And then he rocket outs away from me. And here, I'm kind of just doing whatever until I can, like, get a good tab target back onto this guy. And then right here, he electronets me, which is a good net. He gets away from me, but I ended up CC breaking the net so that I can follow up with a leap and finish the kill. Big reason for that, like even though I'm not full white barred resolved, you see this guy next to me, this friendly guardian, he's full resolved. So chances are this jug already pushed him and used choke on him, and he's already preoccupied. Like he's not focusing me. So this was a good CC break here to follow up and get this kill. So we get the kill here, and now I'm taking a lot of damage. So I ended up so here, this is a good thing to note. My camouflage was gonna come up in like 5 seconds, but my predation was available at that moment. If I continued to take damage the way I was taking damage for the next 5 seconds, I would have just died. So I figured I can't hold out for 5 more seconds. So I just hit my predation to reset the camouflage and then use it to drop their targeting. So, of course, you know, you do what you do. You go to see if the health node is there. It wasn't. So I tried to stay camouflaged for as long as possible before coming back in. But as soon as I got back in, this jug, you know, choked me and put on some good damage. So I ended up dying anyway. But in those situations too, I couldn't, even though the health globe wasn't there, the option of just running away and trying to drop combat was not an option, right? Because you have to stop them from capping if you can help it. Or at least try to help win that fight still. Because we didn't have a lot of time left in the round to try and win that fight and cap it, so I figured that fight was a lost cause, so I came over here to try and help this side anyway. Oh, and let me back up here for a second. So sometimes dying is necessary, right? Like sometimes it's better to just die instead of running away, because sometimes it takes longer to run away, exit combat, and come back than it does to just respawn, right? But okay, so I used Smash on this Scrapper Scoundrel because he threw up his evasion shield. So whenever you see this shield right here, this kind of hard to see in the video, but he throws up his evasion, which dodges all melee damage, you know, white damage abilities. So my Devastating Blast is on cooldown, so the only other force damaging ability I have to deal damage to this guy is Smash. So I ended up using Smash right there to deal some damage while he's low to help secure the kill as fast as possible. And then here I tried to throw a grenade at the ground just to try to guess where this guy was, because we really needed to cap this node. I ended up missing it, so I didn't catch him, but there was a chance that I could have. So I just threw that blind grenade there. You'd be surprised how many times I actually catch people with blind grenades. It's actually kind of funny. So here I typed in the chat for us to split up 4 and 4 next round, and the team agrees. So as soon as this explosion is over, I hit Predation and Camouflage to immediately run, you know, as I help, you know, secure this kill here. So right now the explosion's done. I hit Predation and my Camouflage, and as I'm in Camouflage, I tell my team, go, go, go. And so we're trying to make a play here for their node. There's no way you can just run up and cap it, right? So I'm gonna try and, you know, deal damage as soon as possible here. This is not looking good for us right now. You can see how outnumbered we are because most of their guys are here. But the healers are here, so I immediately focus my attention over to their healers because, you know, if you're going to make any kind of progress, you need to kill the healers. Or at least pressure them so that they have to heal themselves instead of healing their teammates that other people are targeting, right? So I got electronetted here, and I was being focused by 2 other players, so I turned on my Undying Rage. And this healer that I was on threw up their shield, you know, 25% damage shield, or 25% damage reduction for 12-second shield, so I immediately switched to the other one. Just trying to do what I can here. And then when his shield expires, I switch back to him. He was... And then there's his reflect. So, unfortunate, he turns on his reflex. He still had it, so I had to switch to another target. At this point, it's not really about killing. I mean, of course you want to kill, but it's more about stalling, right? Like living for as long as possible while stopping them from capping. So, I got low, so I camouflaged and ran behind here to try to see if the health globe was here. It was not. I wasn't able to drop combat, but in that time I told the team to just keep reinforcing this side to stop them from capping. So we kept 3 at ours and then just backfilling people over here to stop their caps. And then the only reason why it was safe for me to come back in here, even though I'm low, is because I have predation available. So if I needed to use camouflage to not die, I could just hit predation and then use camouflage, right? So I felt like it was safe enough for me to re-enter the fight here because I have my predation and camouflage available. So here I'm getting pretty low. Just camouflage for a second. Tab to the guy that's already low. Help kill that. And now this is looking good. It's only 30 seconds more that we have to stall here. One of the DPS sins vanished, and here as I come here, I saw that the DPS sin vanished earlier. So I kind of panned my camera right here to see if he was standing back here by where the health globe is, and there he is trying to heal back to full. So I see it, and it's funny because as soon as I leap on him here, the health globe spawned. So right now he's rooted because I leapt on him. The leap puts a root on you, right? So he's rooted, and I pick up the health globe, which is pretty funny. And it takes 6 seconds to cap this node. So now that we're under 6 seconds, we're pretty much home free. The game is over. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, this is more so for the new players, in PvP trying to figure things out. I hope this helped a little bit. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on another one. Peace.